Welcome to 2023. I trust and hope, and my prayer is that you and yours will have a fantastic year. I wanted to share my investing plan for 2023, at least the first half of it. It's a little bit harder to predict out past 6 months here, but I think the first 6 months of the year, there's a pretty specific, some things we know. So I'm going to make some choices based on that. This is not advice necessarily for you. This is a record of what I am doing, not necessarily what you should do. So keep that in mind, make your own decisions. So what I've done here is I've put together a list of what I won't do and what I will do. Now, the first thing you'll notice is on the left side we have the won'ts and the right we have the wills. I won't buy real estate. Now, on the right side, I'm going to do something with real estate, but I'm not going to buy real estate. So why? Well, recession incoming, prices probably going to drop. Wrong time to buy. Wait till the prices get low and then buy. All right, stock market, exact same thing. Recession incoming, people. So stock market is, I don't foresee that now. Certainly at the bottom of the recession, yes, then you want to invest in stocks, but I don't think we're at the bottom yet. And I don't think we will be for 6 months. So no stocks. And, if I see a particular thing that I think is a fantastic deal, I may dabble a little bit. But basically, I'm going to hang on to my cash. All right, next one, art. This thing with fractional art ownership, the company MasterWorks, masterworks.io, www.masterworks.io. Boy, they have a good sales team. They've been really pushing me to invest in that. I've decided not to do that for the second year in a row, and it just feels like a bubble to me. I just don't have the confidence that some of the paintings that they may be investing in at this point in time are going to do well in the next year. So I don't know. I may get into this in the future, but for now I still do not have confidence. The other issue for me is I'm a longer term investor. They're hanging on to these things for maybe 1.5 to 3 years is what it's looking like. I'm actually looking for longer term investments. Anyways, for those reasons, I'm going to hold off on fractional art ownership, paintings especially. Corporate bonds. Corporate bonds. What a joke, right? Why? Well, because they are callable. And so here's how this works. In a high interest rate environment, such as we are entering now, or maybe in now, perhaps entering more so, you buy a bond and you say, I'm going to hold this to maturity. And boy, I'm guaranteed, at the moment you buy the bond, if you hang it to maturity, you know exactly to the penny how much money you're going to earn along the way. So you're all happy that maybe I'm getting 5% or whatever for the life of the bond. Well, then the Federal Reserve comes in and cuts rates and the cost of money goes down and the company floats another bond issue with a lower yield and they call your bond and give you your cash back. So the problem is they give you your cash back at exactly the wrong time. So you intended to hold that bond through the low interest rate phase and earn more than the other people would, but you're kind of in trouble because you get the cash back and now you're supposed to buy another bond in a low interest rate environment. So this idea of making bonds callable to me just eliminates me from the corporate bond universe. I can't understand why anybody would buy bonds, corporate bonds. It's, unless they're not callable. A fraction of them are not callable, but most are callable. Next thing is U.S. Treasuries, 2-year, 5-year, 10-year. Not doing that. It was a little bit tempting, but right now I'm a no-go on that. All right, gold and silver. Now, I love gold and silver if you watch my videos. I kind of have a little bit more right now than I want. This might be the wrong words. Always happy to have more. A larger percent of my investable assets is right now in gold and silver than I really intended. So I'm trying to diversify and find some other things. Plus, we've had a pretty good run up here in November, December in the price of gold and silver. So, I'm just going to hold off for a while. If we do have a spike down in prices, I may be back in. But for now, I'm not foreseeing that for the next 6 months. What will I be doing with my hard-earned money? By the way, consider yourself blessed if you can pay your bills and have some extra money to save and invest. You're doing better than 95% of people on planet Earth. So consider yourself blessed. All right, now one thing I will do, this one might surprise you, is United States government I-series bonds. So I-series bonds are the one that pay you, the amount you earn varies depending on the rate of inflation. Higher the inflation, the more interest they pay you. Well, that's good, right? Well, here's the thing. So we're probably in a declining inflationary environment right now. So why would you buy bonds knowing that your interest payments, the percent on those, is going to drop in future 6-month intervals? Well, because of a couple of things. First off, again, I'm a long-term investor, so I'm talking about decades here. I want to hold these things for probably 2 decades. And in that scenario, as the inflation drops back down and the people in Washington, D.C. keep deficit spending, just unbelievable deficit spending, the United States government is getting so desperate to borrow money that they're going to have to pay increased fixed rate. So if you look at how the I-bonds are structured, you get paid a fixed rate plus a variable rate depending on the rate of inflation. Well, in 2019, 2020, the fixed rate was 0. And the variable rate was very low because inflation was low at that time. So it was hard to justify buying those things. But now what's happened is you'll notice that in the November announcement with the new rates, yes, they dropped it from 9 point whatever percent to 6 point something percent for this new 6-month period. But they raised that fixed rate portion from 0 to 0.5 of 1%. So now you get, if you buy one now, you get the inflation figure plus additional, this fixed fee. So you can actually theoretically grow your money over time as an investment. So it's not just a passive savings, I want to hold my value. You can actually earn a little bit more. It would not surprise me at all if in the next interval, the U.S. government, they're spending so much money that it would not surprise me if they raise this fixed rate to 1%. So now, there's a potential here of 1% plus the rate of inflation. And me being a long-term investor, we could go through a whole economic cycle here and get back into a high inflationary period. And then I'll be getting the rate of inflation plus that fixed rate of 1% or 0.5% or whatever. So anyways, so I intend to kind of build a bond ladder over probably overall of 23. So I intend to be buying some every month. And so my hope is that the fixed rate portion will jump up again in May to maybe 1% or something. But even at a half of a percent or 0.4% or whatever it is, I'm probably going to start accumulating. So this will be the first time I'll be into I-series bonds. So it's been interesting. There's always the question of whether the United States government will be solvent long enough to pay me back. So I'm not going to make this a major part of my portfolio, but I do want to add a layer. So I'm doing multiple layers: stocks, real estate, precious metals. Now I'm going to add I-series bonds as a layer, another diversified method of investing my money. Next one here is art, blown glass. So I told you I'm not going to do paintings, but I am actually thinking about maybe commissioning a custom glass sculpture, right? Of using the blowing techniques. So something like maybe I can hook up with the glass blowing college in downtown Louisville, Kentucky, and maybe we can work out something where they can do a piece for me for a donation to the school or something. So there's a place in our home where the sun shines in the evening, and that sun coming in there, if I can get the right piece of glass artwork in there, that would just really pop, and I think it'd be nice. So it's a hard asset. It's if I do it right, it may increase in value over time. And but it's something I want for my home as well. So anyways, so I might do one customized piece of art. Check in with me in 6 months. I'll let you know how that went. All right, next one is platinum. So I told you I'm probably not doing gold and silver, but I do want to get a little bit more platinum. Don't quite have as much as I want to have. Next one is diamonds and emeralds. Okay, now we're getting into some weird stuff here, right? My thing with diamonds and gemstones is you never know if you're getting a good deal when you buy one, right? So let's say you buy some as an investment. You know, color, cut, clarity, carats. I mean, you got all these things. I'm not an expert, so how do you know if you're getting a fair price when you buy them? Well, this is where diamond standard comes in. So I purchased my first diamond coin, and it takes them a couple of months to buy the diamonds to assemble it, and I'll do a video about that when I get it. So the idea here is that it's a standardized way of taking a selection of a few diamonds, and the value of that collection of few diamonds is going to be the same as the next collection of several different diamonds that somebody else has in their coin, and it'll be the same as another person over here. And so the value of those diamonds, even though each one is different, they put them together in a highly statistically validated way to make sure that each of these diamond coins has the approximate same value of diamonds. So I think this is a fantastic idea. If you watched my videos over time here, you'll notice that when I talked about kinesis early on, I was excited about emeralds. So they were doing the same thing. So it would be a pool of emeralds that would be blended together, some bigger, some smaller, some clearer, some less pure, but the combination of those would have a standardized value, the same as the next pool of emeralds. No, kinesis was not able to get this done. Perhaps I was the only person on planet Earth that wanted to buy them from them. So with diamonds, they've done this now. So diamond standard. So now what you've got is you've got a trading platform for a standardized diamond. Buy and sell very quickly. Well, I take that back. Well, if you buy an existing diamond coin from somebody else, secondary market, you can buy it literally within seconds, and you can sell yours within seconds as well, as soon as somebody agrees to pay your price. So, but with the new ones, they do need to buy the diamonds and assemble it. So I'm really curious about this. I think it's going to become a new hard asset class. The investment performance of diamonds has not really been good over the last 20 years. So I'll talk about that in the next video. So, on the one hand, you say, well, it's a bad time to buy, but on the other hand, buy low, sell high, right? Now, this last one here might be quite a surprise to you. I told you I'm not interested in buying any real estate, but I am actually interested in doing a home remodel. So one portion of our home, we've been brainstorming on kind of redoing it. I think this might be a good use of our money in the next 6 months. Why? Well, first off, even if our home goes down in value, we're not selling, we're not going anywhere. So that's the plan. So we could invest in our home, which will increase the market value of our home relative to our peers and such, and which over the long term, will increase the value of the home. And the other thing is that inflation is peaked and headed back down, and lumber prices are back down, and all that stuff. So it might be a good time actually to get into a little home remodel project. So this is kind of my plan. So for the first time, I-series bonds, maybe one custom art piece, some platinum, diamonds. I told you I already bought a diamond thing. We'll talk about that when it comes in, and maybe a little home remodel. So, well, I hope you find this helpful. Please comment, and again, thank you for watching. And I just wish you the best in 2023, and God loves you, so that's going to help you with 2023. Have a great day.